Hi, this is Crystal B.
Nicole Garcia.
And Christine Rodriguez.
We're 3 millennial moms.
And longtime friends who met working in radio.
And we really partied in clubs together.
Now we're deep in our mom era.
But we're still popping bottles.
Hey!
This is Nightclubs to Nightfeeds.
We are back with season 2
Yes!
and our amazing first guest. Let me do this official
Please.
intro because this is very exciting. Today, we have Stephanie Beatriz.
Yeah!
You may know her, and your kids definitely know her.
For sure.
The voice of Mirabel from Disney's Encanto. Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Chili Dominicurican Carla from In the Heights. Quiet from Twisted Metal on Peacock, which is streaming now. Didi from A Man on the Inside, and many more. She also has her own podcast, More Better Podcast. Make sure you support her. And today we are here to talk about all of the things, all of that, and motherhood.
Yeah.
Which
Hi,
is...
guys.
Hi.
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
Welcome.
And okay, so off mic, you are a mama. This is how you know Christine, and you are a great mom friend, which she has told us because you have been there for her. She is the first mom in our pod.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about this, like, before becoming a mom, you don't get it.
No.
You don't get it, and we did not get it.
Yeah.
We did not reach out to Christine when she had her daughter,
Yeah.
but you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you were the first like mom on mom outreach for me.
God.
And you messaged me. I don't know if you remember, but you messaged me and you were like, how are you doing? Because I posted about being like nauseous while I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think I was 16 weeks. It was like super early. We had just told people, but I was so sick and like
So sick.
so emotional. So emotional, which I didn't know was like a thing.
Yeah.
And then you had just had your daughter, I think. Yeah. Because there's like 6 months apart. I don't know. Or
crazy.
maybe you were having your baby shower. I'm trying to remember. And we were talking about baby shower things and registries, but you were like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And I was telling you about the body changing stuff. And you told me about a tip that your therapist shared, which we were just talking about the body stuff as we're all adjusting ourselves in front of these mics.
Right.
About talking to your and like thanking your body parts. And I did it and I was like crying as I was doing it because it is like your body changes so much. And like I already thought it was changing that early.
Yeah.
And then even now I'm like,
More
it's still
changes.
never more changes. It still has never gone
Oh my
back to
God.
what I thought.
My
you know?
child is 4 years old, and do I poop the same? No, I don't. It's not the same. It's
Same.
It's different.
Nothing is the
Everything
same.
down there.
Everything is different.
Everything's different. Everything's different. But that's
Yeah.
also like why I think a lot of times people, you know, everyone can have empathy and sympathy, but it's like some friends that aren't parents are better at that.
Yeah.
But also, like, it does feel like a journey that you go on and you're kind of like, oh, I had no idea
Yeah.
that this was what it was going to be
Yep.
like until you're actually in it.
And I've had guilt, like we've talked about this before, like just not knowing. Like I didn't reach out to
Yeah.
Christine, but Christine reached out to all of us because
Yes.
she knew. She went
Yeah.
through that.
Because you reached out to me, then I reached out to Nikki when she
Yes.
found out she was pregnant.
And both of them reached
yes,
out to
both
me.
of them reached out to me. Yes.
It's like once you know, you know.
Yeah.
And until you're there, then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I didn't reach out to all of those people before me.
I know, but it's like you have to have grace for your friends that don't have kids because
Yes.
they're not in the experience, and they're not they haven't done the thing where it's like the day to day, literally from day to day, you're like, oh no, these pants don't fit. Oh no, I need a new bra. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh no, all the size 8.5 shoes in my closet don't fit me anymore.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
That was
my
brutal.
foot also grew. Did everyone's feet grow?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
9. These
I'm
are
a whole
really,
size
I wear
bigger.
these all
I'm
the
a half
time
size.
because they are the biggest. And like my toes are actually not crunched.
I was so
Yeah.
sad when I realized like that they weren't going back. I
Yeah.
was like, maybe they'll go back because Melissa from Mara was like, well, my feet, the first pregnancy, they just went back, and I was like,
Maybe.
Oh, they went back. I didn't even know that could happen.
Yeah.
it did. I mean, it happened for her for the first one, and then for the second one, they
It
stayed.
just stayed.
Do you remember who that person was for you that reached out when you became a mom?
Honestly, it was Melissa because she had I think she had her first kid like 4 years into Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so she was the first. And like I also saw, I think that was part of it too, is like I saw her every day. You know, your friends you don't see every day most of the time, right?
Yeah.
So like I saw my friend going through her pregnancy 5 days a week, and that job isn't a sit down at a desk job. It was like you got to be on your feet. You got to be doing stuff. And like, when you're pregnant, you don't want to be like, I can't do it,
Yeah. God forbid.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do. Like, sometimes you're like, no. But especially at work, you're like, I can do it. No problem. I can handle that project.
Don't treat
I
me
can
differently because
I'm
I'm
the
pregnant.
same.
Yes.
Meanwhile, your fucking whole body is just like, trying to grow a person.
Yeah.
And I remember Melissa was like, we were sitting outside on like New York Street at whatever, like not our studio but another studio, and like we're sitting waiting for some action sequence, and she is sitting in her chair, and I can just tell, like, there's those like crappy little folding chairs that they give us, she's sitting there, and I could tell she was in so much pain, and I was like, are you okay? And like really what she needed was to just get up and like not be around everybody, because she didn't want everyone asking her like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And that's also the other thing about pregnancy and being a mom. It's like everybody's kind of different. Everyone's having the same experience, but also everyone's really individual.
Yeah.
Like some of us do get really sick. Some of our bodies hurt. Some of us want to be coddled, and some of us want to be left out.
Yeah. Do
You know
not
what I
touch
mean?
me. Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. Don't breathe on me.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Like, get away
Don't
from
give
me.
me advice.
Yeah.
No.
Don't talk.
Yeah.
Definitely do not give me
Yes.
advice because you don't know what the hell I'm going through.
That is a really hard one.
Yeah.
That's a really hard one, because you want, like, then when you see other friends that are getting pregnant, you're like, oh, I have all these things to say to you, but you have to be so like, do you want to know? Do you have any questions?
Tread lightly.
About anything?
If you have any questions, I'm here.
No matter what. Yeah.
So when she was in that much pain, how far along was she? And like,
She was pretty early. I mean, that baby was like, he was jabbing on her ribs and hips and all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
So it was a boy.
Yeah, it was a boy.
That makes sense. That adds up, boys, for sure.
That's so funny.
Yeah, both boy squad over here.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
we get it. What was your postpartum like? Because we've had kind of the range here.
Yeah.
My postpartum was, other than the healing aspect, that was hard. But as far as like the postpartum depression, nothing hit me until I stopped breastfeeding, which was 18 months later, which I didn't know was a thing.
A thing, right?
Yeah.
It's so real, and that hit me. Now past that, and every month it kind of gets a little better.
Yeah.
But even still, like I was telling the girls, I still have milk. And so like my hormones still aren't back to normal.
Yeah.
And I was not prepared for that. What was that journey like for you?
I mean, it was initially that first like sort of wave of hormones that nobody really tells you about. Like your body's gonna kind of try to reset itself, and you're gonna be at home and you're gonna feel crazy.
Yeah.
So that was the first wave, and then the second one was we were asked to do be guests on Seth Meyers, and they were like, we want you to come. Everyone's coming. We're going to fly you to New York. And I was like, oh, my baby is like 30 days old.
oh my God.
And so I was like, do I do this or do I skip it? And like, these are some of my best friends in the world. Like, we're all going to get together and do this thing.
Don't want to miss
and, like,
it.
I don't want to miss it.
Right.
So I was like, and I'd never had the experience of like, of every other time in my life, I was like, of course I'm going to leave for work. Of course I'm going to go do this thing for work. And this was the first time that I was like, oh no,
like it's almost not your choice anymore. It's like you had, like it is your choice, but
also
there's something else
holding
to
you that's like,
And they
that's
don't
not
know.
like your ding dong husband being like, I'm gonna miss you. They don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And like, there was a part of me that was like, how am I gonna do? Like, what do I do with my breast milk? And like, so that was hard because I felt really guilty. Like the whole plane ride there, I was like crying.
Oh.
So did you go without her? Did you
I
take
went,
her? Okay.
and it was 2 days, and I was okay.
Yeah.
I tell you
Which
what,
isn't a lot. Like 2 days to anyone is like, that's so quick. But like
But she
2
was
days
so
to
young.
a nursing mom, 30
Yes,
days
30
in,
days
that's
old.
like forever.
Yeah, and my plan had been I'm going to stay with her inside the house for 40 days. And so at that point, I hadn't left.
I was going to say, that's so old school of you.
Yeah. I was like, I'm doing
that.
it. And then they were like, no, you're not. And that was really hard because then I was like, oh, this is what life is going to be like.
Yeah.
It's going to always feel like I'm having to choose, which isn't fair. Mm-hmm. And then something similar happened when I was offered this like dream job. I got to go to London and do a play, and
Amazing.
I was so excited to do it. It was this really incredible play called 222. 4 people, really spooky, very like new and cool, and just like a great play. Like the night that I read it, I stayed up all night. I was like breastfeeding her and also like reading the play and like scaring the shit out of myself. It was awesome. And I was like,
duality, baby.
right? I was like, we can do this. We can go to London and we're gonna do it. And then they were like, okay, so how long do you need to pump every day? And I was like, well, I'll need like a couple breaks, like 20 minutes each.
Yeah.
And
And
in
you
my-
were fully breastfeeding at
Yeah,
that time?
I was
Okay.
still fully breastfeeding.
Okay.
Like I was breastfeeding, and then we were supplementing with formula.
Gotcha.
Or
Gotcha.
like I would pump and we would supplement that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, this is going to be great. This was the first job that I'd had away from her.
Yeah.
Like I had like little things, but it wasn't like every day. And so my dumbass didn't know that it really takes a lot longer than 20 minutes
Yeah.
to pump.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's fast.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
We're being nice to ourselves.
No, it was. You know what? I wish I
You
had
didn't
like.
know.
You
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know. I wish I had asked other friends. Like,
Yeah.
what did I really need? I should have asked for 40 minutes because by the time you get the pump set up and
Oh,
like
jeez.
get in a calm like
Yes.
situation, I was like straight up like in a cold ass like bathroom like with those like
In a
also-
bathroom?
Yeah, I was in a crappy little bathroom at the theater. Like I didn't even ask for what I needed.
A room or
Didn't ask.
my
Like
gosh.
just didn't think to ask.
No.
And then they would come and check on me at like 15 minutes. The stage manager would be like, so you're almost done? Like we're ready to get back to rehearsal. I should have
stressful.
if I could
That
go
makes
back
you mad.
Yeah.
but like if I could go back and tell myself,
Yeah.
I would be like, hey, ask for 40 minutes and then also ask before and after that they work on scenes that aren't with you in
you,
them.
right. Yeah. Right.
So that you have enough cushion.
Wiggle
And-
room, yeah.
Because what
Yeah.
ended up happening is that I fucking dried up.
Oh,
I dried up. And my plan was I'm going to breastfeed for 6 months and then see how I feel. And I breastfed for 4 months. And that was all I got.
Yeah.
And so like that was really hard because I was really hard on myself about
you were
it.
ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready and I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not making enough milk? Like she's obviously hungry. At one point she was like chewing on my boob and I was like, like what
Yeah.
what is she doing? And it's because I didn't have enough,
Trying to
right?
get it, yeah.
So that was really hard and like I cried a lot.
Was she? So she was in London with you. Her
was
and your
in
husband were in
London.
London.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you would just like, because like the separation, obviously with the milk, it's like harder to, you know. So
Yeah.
like, how many hours were you
I
guys?
mean, we were
apart
in
from each other?
rehearsals probably 10 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's a
and
lot.
like they would come sometimes to the theater, so I would see her for like 20 minutes or whatever. But it was really, and that was really difficult too because I was juggling feelings of like, this is a dream come true, literally a dream come true.
And for yourself,
yes,
you have to take that. Like,
Yep.
how, like
Yep.
how? Where do moms find that balance? Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting this great opportunity, but I'm also a mom now.
And still healing because you're, what, 4 months postpartum
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah.
And the emotions at 4 months, I feel like, are
still super hormonal.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
like,
the nice
you
thing
know?
about like the play is that like you can funnel it all. You know,
Yeah,
like,
that
take
is
it all
true.
down
The
and like
emotion.
funnel it through
Yeah.
through the play.
Yeah.
right?
I feel that.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
I did feel like, you know, I did miss her, but I also knew that like this is my life. I've chosen this life, you know, and
Yep.
I knew that and it's different for everybody, but I knew I was going to feel, and I did feel like incredibly fulfilled on stage and incredibly fulfilled during rehearsals and totally focused. The thing I think I didn't really understand was how important it would have been to ask friends and talk to friends like, how did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do this? Because if I had, I would have gotten a different breast pump. Like I said, like had a different plan, you know, and even at the very, very end, I did call, I think I texted or emailed Melissa and I was like, what do I do? She was like, the last time you breastfeed her, you're going to feel crazy. You are going to feel so emotional and it's like this disconnection and it's going to hurt and you have to like just give yourself grace. And I was like, okay, you know, like I was like, okay, it's not going to be that bad. No, it was worse than I thought. And so like subsequently, like I didn't really understand that. I don't know if I had like postpartum depression or if I just was depressed, but like there were so many things that I was doing at the time. It was like, okay, now you're doing this play. Okay, now you're doing this thing. Okay, now you're doing this thing. And it was like, I'm sad, but I can't deal with my feelings until the strike.
Oh.
And by the strike, my kid was already 3, I think.
Wow.
And so like finally during the strike, I was like, I'm so sad all the time and I'm not busy.
To like
So,
distract
to
from
like
the
put it
sadness.
by the side. Bitch, you can't be sad right now. You're at
Yep.
work, you
Yep.
know?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it was really finally then when like
It hit.
I was like, I need to go see somebody. I need to go like see what the diagnosis is. And the diagnosis was you're depressed.
Yeah.
And when the psychiatrist was like, so you're depressed, and I was like, I know, like I know, but like what else?
Yeah.
Like,
She
what
was
are
like,
we doing about
"No,
it?
you need to be like, would you like to take some drugs because you are depressed?" And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like I'm really like I need drugs. And she was like, a lot of people take these drugs, you know. Like it was
Yeah.
actually really, really nice, and it has helped me become a way better mom, like leaps and bounds. Because like there were times where I was like so sad that I was like in bed all day,
Yeah.
like I was sick with the flu or something, you know.
Yeah.
And Brad was like, I mean, I'm happy to take care of her today, like if you need time or whatever. But it was like, how many of those days were racking up?
Yeah, like, is
you
this
know?
the new
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I want to ask you too is you're going through this mentally, emotionally, physically. You're going through a lot. Your body's going through a lot. You're working. So then it's not like the emotions go anywhere. They stay. They're just suppressed. How does that manifest in your marriage? Like how was your relationship with your partner from postpartum to now 3?
I mean, it was very, you know, one of the things that happened was that so this is a good example. When we were in London, that was the first job that I had after having the baby. And like, he had a great time in London. Like he was strolling around London with a stroller. He was like cool dad. He would like go into pubs and they would let him come in with the
Wow.
people in London and the UK in period are just so cool about it. They're just like, yeah, like I mean, obviously you're not going to get drunk while your baby's here, but like you're going to have a couple beers and watch the game. Sure, of course.
Yeah.
They're like everyone's cool and like people were like watching your baby and stuff and like. So he had a great time in London. I had a terrible time because I was trying to balance doing the show and also I was like, well, I need to mom. So like, I guess I'll get up early in the morning with her on these days. And he was like, great. But the play ended at like 10:30 at night. By the time I got home, it was 11:30. So like I was wound up and not really going to bed until 1. And then I'm waking up at 7 with her. Like, ooh, it was bad.
Yeah.
So then on the next job in New Orleans, we were fighting a lot. We were in New Orleans for like 4 months or 5 months or something. And we have a couple of therapists that we see sometimes. Really, really great guy. And in the therapy meeting, he was like, how was London? And Brad's like, oh my God, it was amazing. He's like talking to me next to me. And I could just feel myself like trying not to.
Rage.
Yeah,
The
rage.
bubbles.
Yes.
The rage.
Yes.
And the therapist was like, Stephanie, I can see your face. It's like,
Steam is literally
Meanwhile, he's oblivious. He's like, dude.
and the rage came out. You called it. Like, I screamed. I was like, I had a fucking horrible time. I mean, I love doing the play, but I was so tired. And, like, you didn't help me. And we were splitting things equally, and we shouldn't have been. Like, I mean, it was and is still, I mean, it's a lot better now. But, like, there was definitely a time period where I remember reading books before I had the baby that was like, you're going to hate your partner. And I was like, not me.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me, you know? And then, like, I straight up was like, I hate your guts. Like, and not really. Like, deep down, I absolutely love you. But, like, I hate your guts right now because, like, you also are trying your best, but you can only help me as much as I give you the information. But I'm over here juggling my own feelings of like guilt. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not spending enough time with her, so I got to squeeze it in somewhere. I'm like doing all this. I'm trying to like you know, manage all this stuff, and he's oblivious unless I tell him.
He's having a great time at the pubs.
You know, unless I'm telling him, like what I said later was, on the next jobs that I do, on the next, you have to be the one. You have to be the one that's getting up with her, because like I cannot work a 16-hour day and then wake up with her. I cannot do it. I can't do it. And like this is the arrangement. And it's our arrangement, right? But like I can't let my own guilt get in the way of my own guilt about not being there all the time for my daughter. Can't get in the way of me being able to communicate to my partner and then that turns into me resenting my partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he can't read my mind either.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for all of us, they can't read our minds.
And maybe fortunately.
And maybe fortunately.
A little bit?
But
No,
I
I
feel
would
like,
love it.
I feel like with our generation, at least, like, I don't know about you, but like my parents, like that was my example. And a lot is just a conversation I had with them the other day. Like, we need to be able to have conversations. And my dad said, yeah, but I don't want them to be escalated to arguments. I said, who said we're arguing?
Yeah.
We are all
talking about
adults
it.
now,
Yeah.
and we should be able to have conversations. And this is something that my husband and I and my sister and her husband, we're all trying to do better because my parents wouldn't have those conversations. When we lived in the house, everyone would just be mad.
Yep.
And then we don't talk to each other.
And then
Silence.
everything's like simmering, and
Yes.
somebody does one thing, and it's like, boom,
blow up.
the fucking roof blows off the place.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I don't want that either.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want that either. It's really like.
But see, even like the couples therapy and the therapy, that wasn't anything.
No.
Yeah, my parents
¿Cómo?
were
Therapy, pero estás loca. No, ¿qué te pasa? What's wrong with you?
too crazy. Like, go put Vicks on, you'll feel fine.
Yeah.
There's
No.
your therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, I come from I guess you could call it like a working class family, right? And like there wasn't a lot of extra money to do even like doctor's appointments or
Right.
I mean, I remember my braces. It was like,
whole
everybody
thing.
was stressed. So like,
Yeah.
We
Who
went to a
has-
training orthodontist in my house.
talk about
So
it.
we all
right?
got braces.
Training.
We all got braces, but those women were like accidentally, cutting us on the side. And then my mom told us later, oh yeah, it was because it was like a training. They were all learning. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, it was so much cheaper. I'm like, of course it was.
course
Our
it was.
mouths are all tore up.
Thank you so much. But like they did what they had to do, right?
Yes. We have straight teeth now. Okay.
You have straight teeth. But did we go to therapy?
Yeah.
No.
We
I
did
remember
not.
the first time
Did
I
we talk
told my
about
mom.
feelings?
No.
Did we
Yeah.
do any of that?
No.
The first time I told my mom that I was going to therapy, just myself, she was like, pero no estás loca?
Yeah.
You're not crazy. And I was
You're like, maybe I am,
I'm trying
Mom.
not to get to that point. Right.
Maybe I
I'm not
am.
trying to get to that point. Yeah. And she didn't really get it. But now I think through so many conversations that we've had over the years, and she's like, okay, I see now that you're trying to get better and to be better. And, my partner and I, we don't have the roadmap. We see what our parents did and we know we don't want.
Right.
So we're also learning in real time of, we'll snap at each other and then we'll argue, but then it's like, then later it's like, hey, sorry,
Yes.
I did
Sorry
that.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But we're trying to figure out the best thing. And so, my partner does have, he has a teenager now. Oh my gosh. Like by the time, before he had his baby,
17, you said?
17 years ago. Yeah, and then now
Wow.
our baby now is 2. It's like he's starting all over again and I'm doing this fresh. So we're like, how do we do this?
Yeah.
There's just no roadmap map. And so we're figuring it out. We know we don't want and we're talking through it. And, same with you. I felt the rage and I felt
Same.
I
I
feel
feel
like
the
still
things.
feel at times like
still.
I don't feel like we ever go back to normal.
No, there is
No.
no normal.
No,
Yeah.
this is new.
This is a new
like
normal.
the new.
Yeah.
It feels it's always like ebbing and flowing. Like I feel like as the kids get a little bit older, things change a little. And like like you talking about having those conversations before you guys had your baby of what you thought it would be, which same, it's like we thought, okay, I thought my mother-in-law was retiring. I thought we'd have help. I thought all these things were going to happen.
The help.
And then none of that happened. And then it was like, oh, we have to make a big adjustment here because now like if you're working and you're paying the bills, how do I then support that? But then I want to be making my own money. And how do we continue allowing each other to pursue our passions?
Right.
Because I think so many of us are married to other creatives and like it's how do we feed that in each other constantly? Like when they're 1, when they're 2, every stage feels like it has this new like perk and then like harder part, right? And I feel like you're probably in the like she's in school now, so that's like a slight perk.
How does that
I'm
feel? 'Cause
assuming
we have no kids in
I'm
school.
looking
Right.
forward to that next
Yeah.
year. Like
I
I'm like,
will
how does that
say,
help?
I
Do you
mean, it
feel?
is partially it's amazing. Like, let me talk about the amazing parts first.
Yes.
Which is
Please.
suddenly you're like, oh my God.
You're able to be here.
I can be here. I can do things. I can I can go to Pilates. I am
Hello,
Pilates later.
Yes.
Like
You can sit on the toilet with nobody there.
knocking on the door or opening the door. 'Cause we try not to lock doors in our house. So like that bitch will come in the bathroom when you're in the middle of a poop.
Oh my God.
What are you doing, Mom? I'm like, I think you know.
Her new thing, Poppy's new thing is brushing my hair while I'm pooping. She wants to
really
brush, and I'm like,
sweet.
sorry, I just need some space right now.
That is really sweet.
She's like, well, I want your hair to be nice.
Right. So what's
at
the
least.
big deal?
God. Like I have an office, and I'm lucky enough to have an office. One of my friends was like, "Oh, why don't you turn it into a guest room?" I was like, "Because then I'm gonna have guests. I don't want guests. I want an office." So I have an office, and it just, it becomes, because I allow it sometimes, it becomes like everybody just throws their stuff in there. So right now I'm in the process of like slowly kind of like cleaning it out and rearranging things, and I can do that because I have hours to myself in the middle of the day, right?
Yeah. That's very nice.
It's
incredible.
Jeez.
Yeah.
The flip side of is now this little person who's means so much to me is like off in the world.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if you noticed, but other people's kids are crap.
Yeah.
And the world is scary.
Yeah.
And so she's out there doing it, and like the other day, it was a couple weeks ago, she was like, I don't want to go to school today. And I was like, she was extra passionate about it. I was like, did something happen? She was like, no. Oh. And then I went in the kitchen and Brad was like, yeah. So like her teacher was telling me that like a younger kid, because they've all watched K-pop Demon Hunters. So they're all like pretend fighting. But like a younger kid didn't know that it was pretend fighting and actually hit Roz. And I think it freaked her out, and she didn't know how to. She didn't know, right? Yeah. And then I went back in the room, and she was like, what did Daddy say to you? And I was like, well, he told me this happened. So if this happens again, little kids don't know. A lot of times little kids don't know. So we show them how to pretend fight, and you show them that you don't hit people. And then if they don't get it, then you don't play with them anymore. Yeah. And she was like, okay, I'm ready to get dressed for school. But in my mind, I flash forward, that's where my anxiety comes in. And I'm like, she's going to be in class, and like, kids will make fun of her. That is unavoidable. Like, we all had it.
I know.
And like, I'm not prepared either, but I wasn't prepared when it happened to me. I wish that my mom had said things preemptively. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I do wish I wish my mom had been like, there are going to be people that are at school that are not always going to be nice to you. And that has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what's going on with them at home, how they feel about themselves. Mm-hmm. They might even be trying something out that they saw on TV. You have to give people grace, and then you got to give people space. And I wish my mom had said something,
grace,
right?
And then space.
Grace and space.
Anything. Yeah. But what ended up happening is I would, I remember not being invited to a 5th grade party or something, and I just sobbed my eyes out. My mom did her best. She rubbed my back and stuff, but she didn't. She wasn't she didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to say. It's also very. I think it's very old school to be like, well, they're just jealous of you, which is maybe. Or maybe they're just assholes. You're right. And either of those things can be true, and starting to kind of, it's just so scary. It's just bye.
Yeah.
See you in 6 hours.
Oh my gosh, that feels such a long time.
It's a long time. And you start to get used to it, but at first it was and I think I already had a buffer because of work. It was, bye, I'll see you in 6 hours. But I knew she was with her dad or my sister,
Yeah.
But now it's you're with teachers who sometimes are also assholes.
Crazy kids and mean kids.
Yeah. Mean
kids.
Wait,
speaking of your sister and your husband, when she was smaller before being in school, what was your village like? Having to travel all the time? Would people come with you? How did you do it?
My sister is probably the most generous person I think I've ever met in my life. She is, oh no, I'm going to cry. She is she went through a horrible breakup. And right at the end of her breakup, I basically the day that I went into labor, or I was induced. So the day that I went to the hospital, she had her breakup. Oh. And she kept it to herself. Oh my God. She didn't tell me.
Because she knew
didn't
that
want to
you
worry
needed her.
Me. Yeah. And so then the baby was a week old, and she was over at my house. I was like, are you and this guy okay? And she was like, we don't need to talk about it right now, But anyway, long story short, this breakup happened, and through a weird series of events, we had bought this house that had a little a detached garage that had already been zoned to be an ADU. If you're not from Los Angeles, an ADU is an additional dwelling unit. It's just a small house in your backyard that you get zoned for. And we were planning on turning it into a house for my mom and dad to be able to come and visit us. because I don't like guests in my house. Space.
You stay out there.
Stay out there.
Especially mom and dad.
So I was like, well, do you want to come and live in the guest house? Like,
Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And so she's my next door neighbor, which is like a dream come true.
You know? How amazing is
It's
that?
incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And she's been a huge help. We've like, basically she's like a staff member now. She's like not a nanny. I wouldn't call her a nanny. I would call her, did you guys read Babysitter's Club when you were kids?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I would call her a mother's helper. Or a father's helper, really. But like she really does. She helps us. Like,
Wow.
my mom tries, but I don't think my mom's gonna listen to this. I don't trust my mom. I don't trust my mom by herself with Roz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't trust that my mom's bad habits are not gonna pop up with Roz.
Right.
I just don't trust it.
And like, what would an example of that be? Like the way she speaks?
It's like she's never had like a ton of patience, you know? And she takes things really personally. She takes criticism really personally. And it's not criticism when a kid doesn't want to hug you or give you a kiss goodbye.
Man,
That's
I just had
such
this
a big
conversation
thing.
about
I
this
feel
with
like
my
in our
mom.
community,
Yes.
it's
So hard.
such a big
It
thing.
is so hard.
Yeah.
Ay, dame un besito, por favor.
No me amas. Yeah.
I'm like, don't tell her that you're sad.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Yeah.
going to get...
You're trying to guilt her.
You're
into
trying
it.
to guilt her into
Yeah.
giving her...
Is your mom the Colombian one?
No, she's Bolivian.
Ah, okay. My mom's Colombian.
But it's all the same.
Same.
Yeah. Latinos are
Latinos
Latinos.
all the
Right.
same.
Different
It's all...
font.
It's
Yeah.
like...
Yeah.
You know, it's like... It's just in there. It's in there. It's like... And I just don't trust it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I feel bad saying that. But... And we're going to get there. I do believe we're going to get there. It's like... You know, me showing my mom by example and me, but like,
Isn't that weird though? Because like we kind of
Yes.
talked about this, but we are like parenting our parents,
Yes.
and being parents,
Yeah.
Gentle
Yes.
and being
parenting our parents.
first-time parents, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is what we do in our house, and like we weren't raised like this, but like this is what we're doing here,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they'll be like, well, what?
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I
That's
had to
because-
tell my mom. My mom brought over these loteria, these like big loteria cards, like big blown up ones. And I was like, this is great. And like, we're, you know, starting to play or whatever. And then she was like, okay, new cards for everybody. She was passing out the cards. And I was like, no, we can't play with this deck. Because some of those loteria decks are hella racist. And I was like, not this one, babe.
Yeah.
And she was like, ay, ¿por qué? Why? And I was like, I don't need to explain this
Yep.
to you.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not.
We're not doing it.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. You know, like, and then later when Roz was already in bed, she was like, I don't understand, but it's like always been that way. And I was like, that's
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is that you don't see that that's a problem. Number one, that's a problem. And number two, hell no.
Right.
And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, let's take the millennial loteria cards and blow them
Yes.
up bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
Yep.
those.
You know, and then then we can play with her, and then we can play the game, and then she'll like culturally understand the game without having it to be like, well, it's racist, but we play it anyway. It's
Right.
like, no, we're not doing
No,
that. Like
yeah.
that's
A boundary.
that's in the past.
Yeah.
This
Ends
part of
here.
our family doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It's
I
hard,
love
though.
that you said that and that you're stopping that now with this next generation.
No, I was like,
What other things do you feel like you are ending and stopping in so it doesn't pass down
oh
to
my
your
God,
daughter?
screaming. The screaming in the house.
Yeah.
We don't do it. We just don't do it. We don't do it.
And
We
your
don't yell in
partner
our house.
your partner's Latino or no?
No, he's white.
He's white. Okay.
Yeah. So that one's easy because I was gonna say those waspy white guys. They hold it all in and they just create patriarchal laws. Yeah, I mean, we've never been. You know, when we first started dating, we were very like we didn't yell at each other. I was like, I don't want to be because I'd been in abusive relationships before, and like I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
The minute that you yell at me, the minute that you break something in front of me, this is over.
Yeah.
Because that's how they get you in the relationships that I've been in the past that were abusive. It was like it starts so small. It starts by like being mean or yelling, and then suddenly somebody breaks something and somebody throws something, and then you know cut to like you've been with them 9 years and like you don't know how to get out. You know.
Yeah.
So that for one was like a huge boundary for me. I was like, we're not going to yell. And then when we were thinking about getting pregnant, and I was like, I'm really serious. So we have to figure out how we're going to fight with each other, because we are going to fight. That's like no one's screaming at each other. If we get to that place where we're like, oh, like
how grown that you had that conversation. Like, how are we going to fight? Like, let's figure that out.
We have to figure this out. Like, and like, when is it okay to walk away from each other? And like, you know, we're not the kind of people that, and like, if you are okay, but I don't see the point in like, if he walks away from me and is like, I can't right now. I can't. I'm not going to follow him to the other room and be like, you have to. Like, I'm not doing that, because like, if he needs the space, I need to give it to him, you know? Yeah. And vice versa. And so
that was me. That was
I need you to stay here.
And my husband is so chill and calm. And he'll be like, I'm not having this conversation. And I remember like early on in our relationship, I'm like, I'm ready. Like I was so fired up, ready to go now. And so like for me, that's been the learning thing, to like calm yourself. If he needs a moment, take that moment. And also sometimes I probably need that moment too. Like go and cool off.
And to talk about it before having the child too, I think is important, because when you're in it, it's like I realize the older Poppy gets, the harder it is sometimes to have disagreements in front of her, and I'm sure it's the same with Roz.
She's understanding more.
Yes, because then it's already, first of all, we don't yell at each other either, but it already sometimes overstimulating to even have an argument about anything with her. That I'm like, this is too much, you know? But then, then she comes in the middle and she's like, Mommy, Daddy, you know, stop or whatever. Fighting. But we're not even yelling. And I'm like, Mommy and Daddy are just having a conversation and we're trying to come to an agreement. Yeah. And so I've, I realize, because obviously she's going to know that we fight. She's going to not fight, argue. Yeah. She's going to know that we disagree. It's how we come to an agreement or how we agree to disagree. That's the most important part to teach her, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I like that she sees those interactions. Yeah. But then when you have a 3-year-old joining in on all the chatter, I'm like, oh my God, now I can't do this, because now it's too many. Yeah.
And then when she's 5, she's gonna be like, I agree with Daddy.
Yes, I know. I'm like, we already know.
I do say to her, I'm like the few times that we have, it's had it happen with her there. Yep. And she's like interrupting or like, please stop fighting or whatever. Yep. I'm like, we have to do this right now, and what we need from you is to please just hang until we finish talking about this. Like,
grown up conversation.
Yeah, and also like, you can stay here and listen to it, and we do love each other, but we are mad at each other about this thing, so we're trying to figure it out. But we need you to just hold on 1 second.
Yeah. I say that to our son, too. Say the same thing. He's not forming like full sentences because he's 2. Yeah. But he still can tell when Mommy and Daddy are arguing, right? Always, so smart. So he'll be like,
like making part of the action.
Part of it, right? I'll be like, Mama, Dad, and then like I'll stop and be like, Mama and Dad, I love each other, and we love you. Like I always make a point to say we love you, because I don't want him to internalize it, right? Because a lot of the kids will think it's them. So we say, well, we love you, but we're just talking.
Well, because that's what would happen, right? Yeah. Because you'd be like, is everything okay? And they'd be like, vete a tu cuarto. Yeah. And then suddenly, like, you're like,
did I in trouble?
They're mad at me.
My mere presence is exacerbating this argument between my parents. My being alive is the problem. Yeah. You know? It's like, I never ever, I mean, I think that's so lovely. Like, I love you when we love you. It's such a great reminder of like.
A little addition.
Yeah. We love each other and we love you. But right now, we got to work this out.
If only. I mean, I think about that a lot. I was like, oh, what would I have wanted? Mm-hmm. You know, like I imagine, like I like play the whole like little scene out in my mind, like what would I have wanted? What would I have wanted? And not necessarily that that's going to be exactly what Roz wants, but at least it's a jumping off point of like, you know, like you said, I know what I don't want, but what would I have wanted? What would I have wanted? You know, because like
to be included, which
what a world. Yeah.
They are being included.
I have a question. So is it true that you were in labor while recording a song from Encanto?
So I was in early labor, which like early labor is different for everybody, like, or it can be different for everybody, right? So like I had an induction date. It was a date that we were going to go to the hospital because I was over 40. Ooh. My doctor was like,
you went over 40.
Oh no, not over 40 weeks, but I was over 40.
Oh,
like,
40 years old. Got it. Okay.
So like she was like, if we go past 40 weeks, like that gets scary for the baby. Yeah. What do you want to do? And I was like, let's have an induction. It's fine.
Yep.
So then like a week before the induction, probably about a week week before, they had changed Waiting on a Miracle a couple times, like while we were recording it. There were like different iterations of it. And they were like, okay, this is the iteration that we want, about a week before. And I was like, great. I love this version of it. Let's do it. And so the morning that we were going to record, I was like, oh, like I had at the time was a contraction. And I was like, I guess I'm just like in a lot of pain right now. And then I was like, well, I'm going to time it because, like, you know, you just got to start timing the contractions. I was like, okay, I'm going to time it. And then it was like 20 minutes, half an hour. And I was like, oh, I'm fine.
The fact that you were so chill, though.
Right? What?
Like,
I
with
was
your
chill.
first child, I was like,
I was
never
chill.
that
What's
chill.
your sign?
Never that
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Oh, that's why.
my
Soup's
gosh.
chill.
Yeah.
Poppy
And
is an
also my
Aquarius.
doctor-
I have so many questions for you.
My
after
doctor
this.
was so cool. She was like, she's this amazing Black woman named Dr. Walden. She's since moved to Hawaii, but she was so cool. And she was like, unless they're coming like 5 minutes apart, you're not in labor.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So I texted her that morning and I was like, hey, they're like 30 minutes apart. And she was like, okay,
You're
so
good.
keep an eye on it. You know, like, let me know when the next one
So
is.
chill.
Yeah.
She was just like, let me know when the next one is.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, I'm just like, whatever in my house. And then I have another one. And I was like, that one was really long. Like, that felt like a real one. Like, the first one was just like, oh, cramp. And the second one, I was like, that felt like a real one. Like what you see.
Because I feel like when
TV.
it's different for everyone, like you're saying, but I feel like when they start, to me, I was like, is this one?
Yeah,
You know,
same.
It kind of feels just like you're going to start your period
Like a
almost
really
feeling-
bad cramp at first. Like a really bad cramp.
And you're like, especially, you know, some of us have like the lightning crotch, they call it, like those, or like Braxton Hicks, all of those things.
Yeah.
Right.
So I felt like when it finally came, I was like, it kind of feels like all of those other things that have already happened, but slightly different. So
Well, and I
don't know.
had Braxton, like I had some before. Like this wasn't the first one, but like they were so sporadic, and they'd be like, some of them I was like, was that gas pain? Like, what was it?
Could be anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so then that day I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like, you know, do whatever, my regular thing. I think the recording was like at night or something. I can't remember. It was like not early in the day, but
Would you record at your house, or you had to go in
I
somewhere?
was in a studio. We were in a studio. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Especially for the songs, because like it's a special mic and like it's a special sound system, and
Got it.
but because it was COVID-y times, we were isolated from each other. So like Lynn, who wrote the music, and my directors Jared and Yvette Marino, our producer, they were all on Zoom, and we were in a different studio that day. It was like Sunset Bronson studio, like some studio where like you walked in and there were like all these gold records on the walls. It was crazy. It wasn't at the Disney studio.
Yeah.
So like then I'm getting dressed to go, and then I have another one, and that one was a real one. Like it rocked me. You know the ones that like when you were in the delivery room where you're like, I'm not gonna survive this. You know?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is crazy. But it was like an hour and a half ago or whatever was the. I think I wrote it down somewhere. I was like, an hour and a half ago was the other one. So like, I didn't even tell Brad. I was just like,
I'm just going to go
I'm
do
just gonna
this.
go do this.
Brad's
You're
chilling.
kind of crazy.
He's chilling.
He has no idea.
Also, I was like, they're so far apart. They're so far apart that like
I would have been driving to the hospital.
So yours were like
take me
far
now.
apart but strong.
they were like the same. I remember thinking like when I was in the hospital with Roz, and I'd had an epidural, but I had a walking epidural, so I could still feel the contractions and stuff. So like I remember when I was having the epidural, when I had the epidural and was having the contractions in the hospital, when I like my eyes were closed and I was like, you know, I was like, this is what it felt like. It wasn't as long as this, but this is what that felt like. So then I go and do the recording, and I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm doing great.
crazy.
Like I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Like nothing's happening. No, there's nothing.
So as you were singing, did you feel any?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Until like one time Lynn was like giving me a note, and I was like,
Which also, like,
you know, like I'm like,
And you felt it.
like, and
Oh my god.
that was it. You
also
know,
like
that-
no big deal, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah,
He's
right.
just, like
Giving
right
you
here
notes.
next to you, and you're like, yeah, dude.
I'm having contractions.
What's really great about Lynn is that he's such a great human being. I've known him for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And I also know that if I had said to them, like, I don't want to go in, you know, like, they would have been like, absolutely, we'll do this later, whatever.
Yeah.
But to me, and I've said this before, but like, this was something new. I'd never had a baby. I'd never been pregnant before. I didn't know what to expect. But in the booth, in the sound booth, and I know what I'm doing. I know how to storytell. I know, and like I was gonna be damned if like that was gonna get taken away from me without me deciding. You know, and I was like, well, I'm not. They're not. They're far apart. So like, we're so good.
It makes sense.
Logically,
Wow.
and then you know, like that was kind of it. The next day, I think I had one. The days following, like leading up to the induction, I think I had a few more, but like none of them were very close together. It was like all of them were very spread out. It was like maybe the closest together was 10 minutes, and then I was like,
It's something's happening.
and then I was watching the clock for the next 10 minutes, and then it was 20 minutes, and then it was 30 minutes, and then it was 40 minutes, and it was like, oh, okay, another one's not.
Yeah.
We're not there, you know?
They're so sporadic.
Yeah.
I want to deep dive on Encanto because you are Colombian, Bolivian, but born in Argentina.
Yeah.
Kind of iconic. But like getting that role from Disney to play the lead Colombian Mirabel in Encanto, what did that feel like? And then you weren't even a mom yet, so like does your daughter now watch Encanto?
Yeah, I mean, she watched it from the very beginning. Like I think
how old was she when Encanto came out?
She was like months old. Yeah.
I mean, she heard you recording all of
she was there.
Encanto,
she was in there, you know? Like you know, getting that role really was like a dream come true. I mean, I'm a huge Disney fan. I love Disneyland. I love the Disney movies. I'm such a, you know, I was a Disney adult before it was cool kind of thing, you know,
Same
like,
girl,
right? So like, I remember when people were like really weird about us being Disney adults, and then suddenly there was like a big influx of everyone. And I was like, great, the more the merrier.
Welcome to the family.
Right. But there are still the people that make fun. So
whatever, like that's fine.
We're living our best lives. That's what really matters.
Yeah, like if you like, I don't understand hating on people for it. I just don't understand it because like. I mean, there's also people at the parks that don't enjoy being at the parks, which is like, that's cool. Like, that's on you, buddy. Like, I'm in the
Why are you
here?
here?
I'm happy.
I'm having the time of my life.
I really am. But, like, it really was a dream come true because, like, you know, as a kid, I would watch those movies, those VHSs over and over. I would sing to myself. I'd sing in the mirror, you know.
Yeah.
And, like, I never thought it could be me. I never in a million years thought, you know, I never thought. And like, I remember reading in like Hollywood Reporter or Variety or something that this was happening. Like they're doing this movie and it's going to be animated and it's based in Colombia and Lynn's doing the music. And I wrote my managers and agents. I was like, I have to get an audition for this. I have to. I'm Colombian on my dad's side. He's from Barranquilla. Like I am Colombian, like, and I'm also American and I know Disney in and out, inside and out. Like I'm perfect for this movie. And they were like, great, we'll do our best. And my agent at the time got me an audition for the role of Luisa.
Oh.
And so my initial audition was on like a Zoom call with Jared Bush and Byron Howard. Jared Bush is now the head of Disney Animation, and Byron Howard is incredibly gifted as well. And he was like, you know, like directed Tangled, and like, I mean, and both of them were the directors of Zootopia, which to me was like such a special Disney film.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
With like,
yes,
with everything that it's saying. I mean, I don't have to get into it here,
Right.
but like, so I read for Luisa. And, like, even that just felt like, this is incredible. Like, I can't believe I have an audition.
Just lucky to be like a
Like, an audition for a Disney animated film. And then at the very end of the audition, I was, like, chatting with them and stuff. I was like, I just have to tell you, before we get off the call, how much I'm such an admirer of both of your work. And I think Zootopia is so brilliant. What you guys did with that film was so brilliant. What you were saying with the film was so important and beyond what is at the surface of the film, but it can be enjoyed on so many levels. I just appreciate what you guys are doing so much as artists, and thank you so much for seeing me. And they were like, great, we'll be in touch. And then
those are the calls where you're like, oh, it probably went bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh, did I say too much?
And I was like, I know it went good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to get it. Because I sang You're Welcome from from Moana. Because I was like, oh, well, it's Lynn's music. So, like, I'm going to sing a Lynn song. Yeah. So I sang You're Welcome as a female character, right?
Yeah.
And then they called me back and they were like, we want you to actually read for the lead. And I was like,
amazing.
freak out. And they're like, we want you to read a couple scenes. We want you to read this scene with your younger cousin, Antonio, and then we want you to read this scene where you and the grandmother have a fight. And they kind of like walk me through, because you don't get the whole script, and they walk me through like what's going on in each scene. So both of the scenes ended up in the movie. It's the one where Mirabel's under the bed with Antonio kind of like encouraging him to come out from under the bed. And then the second scene is when she's arguing with Abuela, when she's like, we'll never be good enough for you, will we?
Yes.
And both of those scenes, I just felt so, I just knew Mirabel inside and out. I was like, I know her. I am her. Like, this is, what's funny is like that character is the closest to who I am in real life.
Out of all your characters.
Out of everybody. Wow. And she's animated, which is hilarious. I remember when the movie came out on Disney Plus, my agent was like, well, it's too bad your face isn't in this movie because everybody's watching it. And I was like, yeah, Bonnie, I know. I know.
Thank you, Bonnie.
So much, Bonnie. But like, I turned in those auditions and I felt really proud. And I was like, if I don't get it, then it's not meant for me.
Yeah.
It's not meant for me, but I really hope I get it because I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I know her, and I know what they want. I can feel it. I can feel it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, it was, you know, it was me being Latina and exactly who I am. And also my absolute like devouring of Disney since I was a child also was part of it, because like I understand the movies, I understand the
vision
world,
and the role.
I know what he was doing initially with Mickey Mouse, you know, like I know it, I know what it is, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the parks, for the studio, for the animation studio, like.
Hopefully more Encantos.
Yeah, I hope.
We need the sequel.
For all of us.
I have to share, because when that movie came out, I'm married to a half Colombian, half Peruvian. And this is like pre-babies. We didn't have any kids yet. I don't even know if we were married yet. But his mom is the Colombian one, and she's like always with us. And so when they announced that movie was coming out, I was excited, and I'm full Mexican American, but I was excited because my husband has shared growing up in LA as a Colombian Peruvian. Everyone just thinks he's Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gotten that his whole life to the point where, like, he stopped correcting people because it's like, okay, I'm not going to correct you. Like, it's just happening over and over. And then Disney to come out with a Colombian-focused film about family. I was so excited. And we've gone to Colombia many times. All of his family is there. So I was so excited. I'm like, we're going to El Capitan. We're taking your mom. We're taking your dad. Like, we're making a whole thing about it. And I was telling Nicole, because she's also Colombian, I'm like, I was shocked how many Colombians are in LA. Because all the Colombians in LA went to the El Capitan, wearing the jerseys, wearing something that said...
We were decked. We were decked out
for that movie, and it was just so exciting. And then, like, even having these conversations with him, Coco was already out, which I was very happy for.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, I cried when I saw Coco in the theater and the Disney castle came on.
Oh my
God.
God.
With the
And
flowers,
the mariachi music.
I was like, same. My sister, she was also crying. It was just like
so special.
Obviously, I'm not Mexican, but I grew up around Mexican culture because I was in Texas. I think I like culturally identify with a lot of Mexican culture. And like I'm proud to be Latino. Like no matter who is up there representing us, I'm very proud of us. Like all of us. And we're all different and we should celebrate our differences too, but the things that unify us, our love of family, our love of music, our love of our cultures, our love of our people, like that stuff is just such a unifying factor, and that's what you're talking about right now. It's like just because I'm not that doesn't mean I'm not gonna be like, no, I don't like Bad Bunny. It's Puerto Rican. Come on. Are you kidding?
No.
Right.
That's why it was so like special to me, because I'm like, you have representation now. Like I feel so happy for you.
That's the other thing. It's like most of the time, particularly Colombians, but Latinos from everywhere. It's like, how have we traditionally seen Colombians in the media? Oh, well, we deal drugs. That's what we do. It's like, you mean the whole country? Every single person in the country is a drug dealer? I don't think so. I don't think so.
You know? So to bring light and to bring beauty.
A whole different other story to it.
Music, like everything. Like everything about it.
It was really beautiful.
Music had such a life of its own too. Like I'm sure that was just...
having Carlos Vive as a part of the soundtrack. Oh my God! Because again, I'm not Colombian, so I didn't grow up with Carlos Vive, but I now know and understand. We listen to Carlos Vive all the time.
How about how Lynn wrote that song? That's like, it sounds like an old Carlos Vive song.
With the one with the piano.
Colombia te quiero.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The Encanto song.
It sounds like...
Yeah.
And it has the vallenato.
And Lynn is so...
That is so Colombian.
Lynn is so smart. Lynn is just so smart. And, like, seeing him, like, all of it was just like, I mean, like, Lynn's not Colombian, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, we used to embrace the culture.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was so well done. It's so special. Yeah. And now that I do have a son, I'm like so excited that like we get to show him that. He's not watching movies yet, but we have Coco, we have Encanto, like we have things that like he can relate to. And he's been to Colombia twice
to go with it. I think you know this, but you beat out Bad Bunny for the first time in 5 years on my Spotify Wrapped. You were the #1 artist.
Incredible.
The year that Poppy was born, because that was all we were listening to.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I was telling Christine. So we would play Encanto songs. And it's funny because your face.
Yeah. Yes.
So your face is on our TV.
Brad made me do that. Spotify. He was like, "You have to put your face on the Spotify thing," and I was like, "Why?"
Tell Bonnie that.
Bonnie,
tell Bonnie my face on Spotify.
I will tell Bonnie.
Yeah. So my son would be like, "Mama," and I'm like, "It's not me, but thank you."
Thank you.
And it's funny because when it came out, I had so many people be like, "You look like Mirabel," and I'm like, "I just need the glasses."
I do remember that.
And then my partner would be like, "That's you. Like the character is you." And I was like, "It is me." Yeah.
That's awesome.
So even
but that's the whole point. Like it's a brown Disney main character.
Yeah.
We'll call her a princess. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
I do wish she was a princess.
I mean,
how great would that be?
Yeah.
Right.
But
no, I love
close.
exactly how she is. You know, there's something else that you mentioned when you said you were 40 when you had your baby.
Yeah.
So I want another baby. I'm 30. I'm about to be 38. So my thing is like I would love another baby by the time I'm 40. Can you give some advice? Some like what can you tell me and or us the listeners about having a baby at 40, around 40?
Yeah. I mean, I think having expectations of yourself can be really hard. Like, we're really hard on ourselves. And most of the time it's because we had moms and sometimes dads that were really hard on us too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Like, before I got pregnant, when we were thinking about having a baby, I did one of those tests that kind of tells you, like, your likelihood of getting pregnant. Like, this is how many eggs you have. This is how many boop-bop-a-doops you have. And I was like, okay, let's do this test. And, like, me thinking, like, I'll be fine. And it was not fine. It was like, your likelihood of getting pregnant is pretty low. And I was like, oh no, what if I can't? And like, I had never really wanted to have a baby anyway. Like in my mind, I was always going to be like, honestly, because I didn't want to repeat the mistakes that my parents had made. I was like, I'm not doing that to a kid. I'm not ready. I can't do it. And the day, obviously, I had passed that point in my life. Now we were talking about having a kid and I was really positive about it. And then the day that those results came in, I was cleaning out our storage unit and I cried the whole time I was cleaning it out. I just cried and cried because I was like, it's one thing when it feels like it's your choice, but it's another thing when it feels like your body won't do what you want it to do.
You're like, wait a second, now
how come?
I actually might want this.
What? And it was like, oh, my identity's wrapped up in this, and like my feelings of like how I function in the world is wrapped up in this. So I would say like the main thing that I would say would be to like try your best to loosen the grip on the reins of your expectations of yourself. Like, relax a little bit about it, which is like, if it happens, that's amazing. And if it doesn't happen, that is okay too. And that you're not a failure as a woman, as a mom, or as a human if you can't. And if you can, then like, now let's change direction into if you can, you're gonna get hit with some stuff that's like, oh no. Like, you know, I had friends that had kids when they were like 22 and their bodies just like kind of like retracted back into themselves almost. And like mine didn't. You know, I have dresses in my closet that I loved that like my ribs just don't.
Okay, can we just stop and just talk about how dope this recording studio is? I feel like everyone hits me about like where it's at, how cool it is, what's the situation. It's called Project Studios in Monterey Park.
Everything is here. And the staff does everything for you as well. The editing, the producing, the lighting.
The cameras.
Everything. But we need that good lighting. Yeah. We got it here.
And you could create such dope content here. Like downstairs is a full production area that literally is like for music videos, big scale production. And next door they even have a place where like you can do flat lays if you sell clothing, jewelry, whatever you sell. It's like professional level studio next door that you can use.
And it's only 9 minutes from downtown LA. And there's parking here. In LA, it's so annoying to find parking. And I know that was a big thing when we were looking for podcast space, was where in LA that we can all park and feel safe and feel comfortable. Yes. And that is here. Make sure to follow them on Instagram so you can see more of all the fun stuff they do at Project LA. And you can schedule a creative consultation at projectstudios.com.
Tell them we sent you.
I can't zip them up
But
anymore.
we're saving them because just in case.
No, I did get rid of them. I got rid of them. Yeah, because I was like, my ribs are not going to.
They're never.
I could lose however much weight, but my ribs will always be this circumference.
I'm holding on. Holding on.
I mean, it depends on the dress, you know? Like, it depends on the dress. Like, having these, like, expectations of, like, how the pregnancy is going to be, what it's going to be like. Like, all of that stuff is, like, that's not in your control. You know?
Even for me, I think it was really, like, okay, now we're going to start trying. And I should be pregnant immediately because we're trying.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't work out that way, like, also give yourself grace of whatever timeline you created.
Yeah. That's
it
not up to you.
doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately.
It's in the hands of the fates.
Yes.
Like, it's not up to you, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I have a friend who, they tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. It didn't happen. And then they all got, you know, she and her husband or her partner got tested, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it, guys. And so they froze some embryos, and then they did IVF, and it was like, okay, we're doing IVF, and it didn't take. And it was like, what? What do you mean it didn't take? We just spent like all this time, all this money. Like we only have however many, I don't remember, but it was like they didn't have like 10 embryos left, you know, or whatever. They had like 2. And they implant, most of the time they implant 2 or 3 in case one doesn't take, you know? So it was like, this is our last shot. And it was like, this is it. And they did get pregnant. They did. And she's a beautiful baby girl.
I was going to say, do they have twins? Because I know a lot of
people have twins like that. Yeah. They have a beautiful baby girl. But also she had already wrapped her mind around, like, if it doesn't go, then it's not for us.
Right.
Yeah.
I have another friend who also was pregnant at 40, and like they had tried for years and years. And she had already been like, okay, it's not for us. Like, we're going to be a childless couple. What does our life look like that way? And like, and then she got pregnant. And then like I remember she called me in the middle of her pregnancy. She was like, you're right. This is a scam. I was like, bitch, I told you it was a scam. I told you.
Oh my God.
It does feel like a scam though sometimes, doesn't it? It's like,
it does.
What do you mean this is what I have to go through? And they don't have to go through any of it?
That's why I don't know if I could do it again, because I am just truly like, I don't think, I just don't. Yeah. Nothing about it, like the pregnancy part at least, the giving birth part, the postpartum part, none of it is pulling me back. None of it. I'm like, I thank God I'm done.
Yeah. And it is a scam because at the end it's like, look what you get though.
Yeah.
Look what you get. You get this little human that's like so great and amazing.
Right.
Don't you want another one?
That's the scam. That's the scam. And it's like, that does look good. I like that.
Scam got me.
Yeah. And I'm like, if you could give her to me like 1.5 years old, that would be lovely. But the whole pregnancy and postpartum for me, I'm like, I just, even when I see newborns now, I'm still not like.
You're like, oh.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm sleeping a little more. You know, like,
traumatized from the actual labor. That's just
the labor was traumatizing for you.
Traumatizing.
Yeah.
It's me
God.
getting past that. But like the baby being here, my pregnancy was very enjoyable. It's just that frickin' labor.
So funny because like my labor, I felt like I was like,
it was great. Well,
it wasn't great, but it was like, I can do this.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like
powerful.
Yeah, I felt really powerful, and I also felt like I was like mentally talking to her, and she was listening to me.
Oh my God!
I was like, okay, bitch, I need you to flip around now. Flip around. Like there were all sorts of things. Like a couple days before, I was like doing all these moves, like on my couch, like so she would like get in the right position. And she did. And then like as I was like, I could feel, this is so graphic, but that's what your listeners are here for. Like I could feel her head going down the canal. Like I could feel it. And I was like, okay, man, like this sucks. And we're going to do it together. And like you are going to move down the canal. We're going to do it now. And so like every contraction that came, I was like just a little further down, like just like get further down there.
Going.
So then when my doctor came, she was like, okay, are you ready to push? And she was like, oh my God, okay, we're ready to push. Like
She's ready.
Out. She was out in 20 minutes.
That's amazing.
You only pushed for 20 minutes.
Already down there. Yeah. She was already all the way down. I like
and these
talked
are notes
to her.
for myself for the next one because like I also do want another one, but I'm like I need to be more chill.
I mean, my dumbass had like I brought my yoga ball and like
they had me on a yoga ball and I had the walking epidural and it came out twice. Because they had me doing all of these things on the freaking yoga ball. That thing came out twice.
I was in the bed with it hooked up. I was just like in the bed for, I mean, like I labored for like 12 hours or something. But like, Brad, I like to tell this story. I was like in hour 4 or whatever. And I look over on the couch and Brad is there with a sandwich. He's like pulled a sandwich out of the bag. And I was like, you better not fucking eat that sandwich. You better get in the bathroom and eat that fucking, you better not.
I better not see you eating
so much pain right now. Get the fuck out of here with that fucking sandwich. I was so mad. I was like, I cannot believe you busted out a sandwich for yourself.
And you can't eat.
I can't eat. I feel sick. I'm like every 2 minutes.
And
like,
most of us were craving
like
sandwiches
shaking.
for like, you know, the betterment of
Get
8
in the
months.
Deli
bathroom.
meat
Sandwich.
Oh my gosh, Brad.
I know.
Brad lives his best life. Okay.
He really does. I mean, I will say he did bring a magnum of champagne. He's like snuck in champagne.
Oh,
so like there's this great picture of me and him and Dr. Walden and I'm like holding the champaign. And, like,
that's
the baby's
cute.
There. It was really nice. That was really, really nice. I mean, he's a great partner, great dad, but like sometimes these men. Just on the couch, I'm like in the middle of a fucking huge contraction. He's just like snacking on the sandwich.
Or during all that when they were, I
Right.
feel like my husband was just like trying to get a nap in before and I'm like, cool.
I said that to him. I was like, get up, stand up. You can't sleep. You better not sleep. I can't sleep.
Give me
You
20
walk
jumping
around,
jacks
walk
right
around,
now.
walk
Take
around.
some laps, okay?
Literally,
Take
I
some
was
laps.
like, get up.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait. We have one last question.
Yes, I really want to thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
even
Oh, my
on top of
pleasure.
everything you are doing, you're working on, you're a mom, you made time to come.
I'm
and
really
hang out
glad.
with us.
I'm really, really glad I did.
Thank you.
We want to know who inspired your motherhood journey the most. Like friends, they could be family members here or not here.
Such a weird answer. Are you ready for my weird answer?
Is it a real person?
My dog.
Oh.
My little dog.
What's your dog's name?
This was Banjo. He was the sweetest. So, like I was telling you guys earlier, I was like, I'm never going to be a mom. There were too many mistakes in my house. I don't want to pass it down. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And then I was dating my ex, and I was in Oregon, like, you know, following him around, doing whatever. And I was like, I think I'm going to get a dog. And he was like, absolutely not. No, you're not getting a dog. And so I went to the pound and, like, you know, looked at the dogs, and there was this little old dog. And I was like, oh my God, that poor little old dog. Like, who's going to take that old dog? And then I started talking to the, you know, volunteers, the center, and they were like, yeah, it's his second time here. I was like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, so someone came and got him, and then she also got a puppy, and then brought him back because she wanted to keep the puppy instead. This is like a little, this little old guy has like crooked legs. I was like, oh no. Anyway, I adopted him. I named him Banjo. He was probably around 12 when I got him.
Oh my gosh.
And he lasted about 2 years. And he did great. He was like, I would bring him to set. I could put him in a bag and like put him under this table and you wouldn't hear him peep. I mean, he was just like the lappiest lap dog.
Oh my god.
But then at the end, he got really sick. He had to have a surgery. He got cancer.
Oh,
and for the last, like, I'd say like 9 months of his life, he had to have fluids every day. So like, I was giving him like IV fluids every day, you know, like a bag of fluid. And like I'd have him in my lap and like a towel over his head so he didn't bite me, and we would just sit like that every day for like an hour while he got his fluids to keep him alive. And then at the end I was like, blending up his food and hand feeding him until he stopped eating. And like, he was the one that really made me go like, oh, like you can take care of a living thing. You're a very loving person. Like you could be a mother. Like nobody else wants to do this with an old dog. Like you're ready to do this with an old dog. You could maybe like do this with a child. Way bigger responsibility, you know? I just never trusted that I could. I never trusted that I was going to be able to take care of something like that, you know?
Fully.
Yeah. But yeah, my dog.
Banjo.
Shout out to Banjo.
My little family. Remember
You
like watching TV in the middle of the day?
Oh, I don't know what that's like.
You just like watch shit in the middle of the day and the dog would be like right here and you
Yeah.
just like watch TV. Not anymore.
No.
I can't be watching like Sopranos in the middle of the day with my child next to me. Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Most times the shows on
can't.
TV now, I'm like, I can't even watch it and trust that, like, if she gets up in the middle of the night, that there's not going to be something crazy happening. I'm like, what show? There's so few shows that I feel like I
British
can put
Bake
on.
Off.
And
That's it.
Well, then it's like, Mommy, I want cake.
right. I'm like, without somebody being naked or killed or like, you know, there's just so many things that could happen. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have headphones now that I plug into my Roku remote and I have my little snack and do the little thing at night. But yeah, during the day, forget about it. We're watching
Definitely not.
You know,
We're watching Encanto.
Encanto, right?
Well, thank you so much
God,
for
my
coming
pleasure, you
and hanging
guys.
out with
Thank you for
us.
having me.
Thank you.
This
It
is so
was
fun.
fun.
Lovely.
So fun. So lovely. Everything you're doing. Are you working on anything right now?
Right now, the second season of Twisted Metal is out on Peacock. It's
Amazing.
really good.
Anthony Mackie and you.
Anthony Mackie
amazing.
and me, cars, lots of explosions, lots of really good humor. It's based on the video game of the same name, Twisted Metal, which was popular when we were probably all kids. And then I'm in a film with Sunny Sandler, who's Adam Sandler's daughter.
I love all the Sandlers.
That he produced, and I believe that's coming out spring.
Amazing.
Right now, the working title is Don't Say Good Luck, and it's really, really sweet. It's like a very high school movie, but it's really about her relationship with her mom. And like when I read the script, I was like, oh my God, this is so special. It's really, really great. And I play her high school drama teacher.
Cute.
So that'll be out on Netflix.
Amazing.
Congrats on everything. Moms.
Yes.
Doing it all.
Doing it all.
Amen.
Not all at once.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
amazing having you. And representing Colombia.
Hey, mamas. Thanks for watching.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and check out all of our other episodes.
Find us at Nightclubs to Nightfeeds. That's Nightclubs, the number 2, and then Nightfeeds. And we'll catch you on the next episode.